Hello, everybody. It's Coach AB here. Happy holidays to all you folks out there. And by happy holidays, I do mean happy transfer portal season. Yes, the transfer portal is upon us. You know what that means. It's Christmas. Well, I guess it's Christmas for coaches, but at the same time, it's an absolute nightmare because they're doing roster retention, all that fun stuff. I thought it might be a fun time to get on here and take a look at a couple guys, spend about, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes looking at a couple guys that Florida State might be interested in. What about their game do we like? What kind of fit are they going to be? Knowles 24/7 is obviously leading the coverage for Florida State right now as far as who's entering the portal, who's interested in Florida State, who's Florida State is offering. So I would advise if you are so inclined, head over to Knowles 24/7, get signed up. I think there's a fun little deal going on right now. Actually, you get Paramount Plus. Okay, plug over for Knowles 24/7. But you know what to do here also. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Make sure your bell notifications are turned on. Smash that like button. I'm going to give you about 10 minutes. We're going to look at a little bit of film. Brendan Sinoon put out an article today, FSU's top 10 most wanted transfer portal guys. So he's got 10 names there. I'm not going to give those away, but you can head over there and find them out for yourself if you would like to, if you're interested in. If you are an FSU fan, you know that there is a player at Miami. Well, he was at Miami. He entered portal last night. And there is supposedly some very heavy interest between this young man and Florida State. That is defensive tackle Darrell Jackson. I hope I'm saying that right. It's either Darrell or Darrell. I apologize if I got that wrong. It's Florida State's in need of D tackles. Losing Fabian Lovett, losing Robert Cooper, Sean Bay Jackson, who was thought to maybe be a defensive tackle, DN player, entered the portal. Jarrett Jackson entered the portal. So there's a need at the position. Jackson started his career at Maryland, went to Miami last year, was a big piece of their defense, which on the back end was really bad, but their front was pretty good. So that's, and it sounds like Florida State might be in a position to land him at some point. We'll see where that goes. Again, Zach, Brendan will have the latest on all that if you're interested. We're going to take a little bit of look at him. I pulled up the condensed film of the Miami and Florida State game from this year. We're going to look at a few clips. Here we go. And we're going to look at a few clips and watch and see what he's got going on, right? I think the biggest thing that jumps out at me is his ability to be a run defender. He's very stout against the run. You're going to see Florida State try to use a lot of angle blocks, down blocks, that kind of stuff to block him, to handle him, because I think that they knew that they were going to have trouble with him. So he's a load inside. He's a big boy and strong, very stout, plays with great leverage. Let's take a little look. Full screen here. So Jackson's going to be here. He's going to be lined up over Maurice Smith. He's a nose tackle. Florida State's going to run the ball here. Going to try to run some outside zone. You see him. This is going to be a better end zone view. So he stays over the top. Maurice comes off. He's able to defeat Big Meech. He's able to defeat Big Meech there and not let Big Meech get him reached, which, back to it again. It helps to stay over the top of this. That run can't go anywhere. Obviously, Miami wins at other positions. Leonard Taylor, their end, also sets a nice edge. He's not in on that play. He's not a pass rusher. I wouldn't say that's his strength. You get him here, you get him lined up on Dylan Gibbons, ends up getting doubled on some slide protection. Again, I like the leverage that he comes off the ball with. Nice and low, flat back, engages well, uses his hands. I'm sure there's going to be some technique stuff that there will be some technique adaptation that will need to occur. Oh, pokey baby. That will need to occur from, him playing at Maryland and Miami. They may do things a little bit different than what Odell likes. But again, you get a good flat back, gets off the ball well, good first step, strong hands. Pass rushing's not his game. Forward here and see if we can find some more. As much as I love to watch. Yep. So he's in again. We talked about so Florida State is running some counter tray here. Starts a little late, unfortunately. We kind of jump in at the end. So they're getting an angle block on him. You get Gibbons on a down block, which that's tough defeat for a defensive lineman. You know, the offensive guard has an angle on him. It's the easiest block in football. Here we get another angle of it. So Gibbons, so he does a nice job. He stays with Maurice. You know, he's attached to Maurice. That's his gap. He stays attached to that. Uses great. You know, again, you see that leverage that he comes off the ball with, nice and low. He doesn't stand straight up. He knows what he is. He's a plugger. And then, you know, Florida State sets up that block for him with the down block from Maurice, keeps it attached, and it sets up the block for Dylan. Let's take a look at it again. All right. So he defeats Maurice with leverage here. It ends up being a screen, but Maurice not trying to just let him go. So you see some of that power there. He just kind of discards Maurice. You know, that's good to see. Florida State needs more of that in their run defense. Biscuit. He's not in on this play. Here's a good shot on the goal line. He's going to be here, lined up over Maurice again. Again, look at the leverage he gets off the ball with. Look at the leverage. Look how low he is. He's driving Maurice back. He creates a. I mean, he really blows his play up. So this is the kind of power you're gonna look to add to the middle of your defense. You play him as a one tech, you know, shaded on the center. That plays. That's helpful. That's really useful. Another look down on the goal line. Similar type deal. Florida State uses a little rollout. Touchdown to DJ Lundy. Love to see that. But again, leverage comes off the ball. They double him this time. They weren't able to double him last time. That works. All right. So that's a good idea of what Darrell Jackson is. You're getting a stout run defender. I mean, that's what they need. It was an area that they struggled at times when Fabian Lovett got hurt. You know, you plug that into the middle of your defense, it works. Is he an elite defensive tackle or a D tackle one? Probably not. He's probably more of a two type. But you know, you're developing Daniel Lyons, you're developing Josh Farmer, who Jackson they played high school football together. They have a relationship. You know, you're developing a lot of your young guys around him. Ayo Tafasi, you know, Bishop Thomas, these guys. You get Malcolm Ray back. You know, these are guys, you know, you compare with Jackson and you know, have a pretty decent tandem. And who knows, they may be in the market for someone else in the transfer portal at the defensive tackle position. So let's take a look at the next name. I believe the next player is Casey Roddick. He's an offensive guard, played some offensive tackle also from Colorado. This is a young man I do believe they have offered. Again, Brendan and Chris and Zach, they have all the information on that stuff. You know, head over to Knowles 24/7. They'll keep you up to date on who's offered, who's interested, who's not interested, and all that stuff. A lot of fake news out there about offers and non-offers, but the boys at Knowles 24/7, they've got it down packed. So Casey Roddick, he is an offensive guard. I believe he would come here to be an offensive guard, not a swing prospect, not a tackle, a true offensive guard. Out of Colorado, obviously he's leaving with the change there, and that program struggled. I believe he's got quite a bit of interest nationally. I think he visits NC State this week, so NC State's been known to do pretty well with their offensive line. Let's get it added in here. All right, so this is Arizona State versus Colorado. I tried to find a game where Colorado has some success. They obviously weren't very good. I believe they won one game last year. The Roddick's at right guard here, number 70, I believe he is. Well, let's take a look and see what we got. Well, this is a 3rd and 5 situation. This one's going to jump around a little bit. It's hard to find full game highlights for Colorado. Let's take a look. Jumped on this a little laggy. Oh, did it again. All right, so Roddick short sets this. I've watched this there. Okay, and it speeds up. So Roddick short sets on this, which means he gets his foot in the dirt real quick. He's not giving ground. Short sets on it. Good pop. Does a nice job. Oh, here we go. Does a nice job of setting up in his pass pro. Get forward here a little bit. Oh, come on. I would describe Roddick as one of the better offensive linemen that are in the portal right now. I know there's a lot of focus on a young man that entered from Alabama. There's a young man that entered from Auburn. There's a young man that from a true offensive tackle from Rhode Island. Those are guys that are they're gonna garner a lot of interest nationally. I think Roddick is a type of player who has a really high floor, maybe not quite the same ceiling, but you could, but maybe he's a little more affordable. Um, or just maybe a better fit for what you're looking for as opposed to chasing. There's a nice cutoff on the backside. Hmm, sorry about the lag here. Again, nice tandem block. The camera work in the Pac 12 is obviously exquisite. All right. We're looking right here. Actually, I apologize. He's at left guard now. So they made a switch, switched him over to left guard. Again, nice setup. Doesn't really give any ground. This is pretty light work. Just creating a nice pocket. And you see a lot of that from him. Has very powerful hands, strong, good pass blocker. He's right there. We'll have to check him in the run game. The double here, I believe he should probably be looking at that backer. But no, I'm sorry. Nope. No, he does the right thing. They should be reaching. They send that backer in A gap. Center can't come off because of the nose. Get good movement with the left tackle there and overtakes. Oh, it's a nice job on the left side. Everywhere else just kind of got blown up. I wouldn't call him an elite mover of people, but that's good movement in the run game. That plays. Here he is again. Guy beats him inside, so gets across his face here a little bit. And he's got to do a better job. He's leaning a lot here. He needs to keep his feet moving. A little better base. Colorado's going to kick a field goal. Hey, Colorado 7-3. Look at that. Let's jump ahead here a little bit. All right. So here is on the left side again. And he can't quite overtake the linebacker, but the end's got it set, but the linebacker ends up getting there also. So, you're looking for a little more quickness, a little more agility out of that. But this is also pretty tough. I mean, the backer's already outside of him by a decent amount, and all the flow is working there. If this ball is able to cut back inside, he's in position to kind of kick into the sideline. Ball's not able to run back inside, which is part of the play. Nice job of picking up the twist here. Again, we see it late. Looks like an end twist. They communicate it well. He picks it up very nicely. You see good footwork there. That's really nice. Good hand play also. Hands are nice and inside, nice and tight. He's not overreaching. He didn't overcommit to the end, going outside, which is nice. And we jumped over to Arizona State again. Let's watch one more drive of his. All right. Oh, there we go. That's movement. ID's the backer coming. Absolutely stalemates him and then drives him out of there with the help of the center. That's nice. All right, a little bit of an overload look over there. Does a nice job IDing the backer coming, who does give it away. Kicks out to him. It's good work. Pancakes him. Nice finish. Obviously, good communication on the left side of the O line here to pick this up. Well, boom. Hello. Big gainer for Colorado. The Buffs are on a roll. Again, we're looking right here, left guard. Bit of a stalemate inside, but it's an RPO, and it is a touchdown. All right. So we get a good idea. There's some good, there's some bad there. Looks good in a phone booth. Gets outside, seems to struggle a little bit with that with athleticism, but that's going to be a lot of offensive linemen we look at. If they were elite athletes, people would be paying them a lot of money. It just is what it is. So, um, yeah, I think that that's exciting. I think that's a good prospect you can look to bring in, maybe replace a Dylan Gibbons with, or a Dimitri Emmanuel with. Would be a guy I think you could potentially just slot right in there, and he could give you a good season's worth of reps. Last player we're going to look at, I believe he was number 6 on Brendan's top 10. I'm going to try to say this right. Jason Maitre. He's a safety from Boston College. I probably should be intelligent enough to look up the back of their or the pronunciation of their names before I do these things, but hey, whatever. So he's a safety for Boston College, more of a free safety than a box player. Um, Reminds me of Jarquez McClellion a little bit. A player maybe isn't necessarily going to come. He started elsewhere, maybe not going to come to Florida State and be a starter, but an intelligent football player, coached by one of the best DB guys in football, and Jeff Halfley. Um, Understands where to be, can communicate it real well, get guys lined up right. Uh, Decent tackler, not great tackler. Decent coverage, not great coverage. Decent range, not great range. You kind of get a trend. He's a good player, not a great player, but a guy that I think would bring a lot of value to Florida State. With I believe Jarquez McClellion is not going to be here. I believe his eligibility is run out. You have a need for this kind of player for your sub packages. If Akeem Dent were to get injured, if he returns, if Shaheem Brown were to get injured, if he's back next year, so just a valuable piece to the puzzle, in my opinion. If they were to go out and land him, I do believe that he did announce an offer. I do believe there's mutual interest. So let's take a look. He's number 3. He's going to be right here. With safeties, it's tough because sometimes you'll lose them on the screen. So we'll see what we can get out of this. Here he rolls down the box, picks up the flare. They're in some man coverage, it looks like. He picks up the back off the blitz. Hard to tell if he's supposed to pick up the receiver that breaks open or not. But I would assume, based on his action, that he's not supposed to. They might have been thinking wheel route or something here. Again, good to see the intelligence, recognition. Here he is here this time. He's going to be He's more of a middle field safety. Come down, should be fit in the alley. All right, little stutter step there, gets him. You want to see him keep coming, but he's trying to use the sideline. Here's another angle in his pedal, transitions, coming downhill, staying inside out. The stutter step gets him against one of the better running backs in the league. Would like to see that handled a little bit better. What do we got here? Here he is here. He's on the backside of the play. Back here now, so we're going to lose him on the screen. Pressure's going to get to Schrader. Let's see where we are at. He's here now. Rotating in the middle of the field. He's being added in the box here, obviously, eyeing Sean Tucker. Does a nice job. This is pretty good. Again, playing inside out. Gets caught up in the wash here a little bit with the backer getting blocked. Well, there's a willingness there to come be active in the run game. They need that. You lose a Jamie Robinson. You need a guy who is going to be willing to come down and play the run. Jump ahead a little bit here. Middle safety here. He's going to be in the middle of the field. Let's see if we get a throw. We don't get a throw because why would we get a throw when we're looking for one? Doing a nice job, staying middle of the field, not committing himself. He doesn't overcommit himself down here. He doesn't let Schrader, doesn't let Schrader's eyes dictate where he's going. He's staying true to the coverage. That's a nice job. Helping out on the post. Goodness. Man, Syracuse fell apart. Let's see if we can get a little more out of this since Syracuse is abysmal. All right. I'm not sure. I'm guessing he's in the middle of the commercials. Guessing he's in the middle of the field safety here again. Long completion down the sideline. All right, so here he is. More middle of the field stuff. Oh, there he is. I'm sorry. So he's running motion here. He's running with the motion here, which is interesting. So they're manning him up. Flag on the play. So he's running middle of the field here. Again, this is why I talk about maybe a little bit of a lack of range, but that's a long way to run with the football. So yeah, that's those are three guys: Daryl Jackson, Jason Maitre, and Casey Roddick. Three potential portal prospects for the Noles this year. We'll see what happens with them. Again, you can find that coverage at Noles 24/7. If you like this, let me know. I might do a little bit more of this. Fun to just be able to sit down and kind of look a little ball, look at guys. Maybe I can clean it up a little bit. So if you're interested in more, let me know in the comments section. Get over to Noles 24/7. Find the latest on the transfer portal as it is the holiday season. And yeah, go Noles.